Coming up next on our InSight interview program on Vision Resources Audio Services, Father Michael interviews Vid Lynch and Ben Smith, two of the founders of Torchbearer Sauces. This informative and fun interview introduces you to the world of hot sauces, as well as the journey Ben and Vid embarked on nearly 2 decades ago to begin this local business legend. Torchbearer Sauces is also a partner with Vision Resources of Central Pennsylvania. And now, InSight.
Hi, everybody. This is Father Michael Scalzi, and we're here together again for another edition of InSight. InSight is a series of interviews that we have here at Vision Resources Audio Services, and we interview celebrities who live in the South Central PA area. We interview business leaders. We interview all sorts of interesting people. Today, we're going to have an interview that I have a feeling is just going to be a lot of fun, a lot of information, and something that I think you're going to find fascinating. I know I do. I have with me today Vid Lynch and Ben Smith, who are the owners of Torchbearer Sauces. Gentlemen, welcome to Vision Resources.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Before we begin, I just have to tell you a quick story, and Steve Long, who's our producer today, is listening in, and I know he's heard me tell this story, but you guys haven't heard it. I was in a restaurant probably about 6 months ago, and I'm sitting at a table with a group of people having a nice dinner, and there was a woman in the restaurant who was very, very loud. And she was sitting at her table, and she said to her group of people, she said, "Oh, I have to tell you, I came across something that is so wonderful, and you have to try this out. It's called Torchbearer Sauces. I picked it up at my grocery store, and I started using it, and I got all sorts of different flavors, and I've been cooking with it, and my ears just perked up because I knew of the friendship that Vision Resources has with Torchbearer Sauces. So I excused myself from my table, and I went over to talk to this woman. And I'm telling you guys, she should be the spokesperson for your company. She was raving in a very loud voice about Torchbearer Sauces and all the different flavors and things like that. So I was very proud to know that we do have this relationship with you guys. So take me back. Take me back to the beginning. Tell me about where Torchbearer Sauces came from. How did the two of you meet? Go ahead.
It kind of started in college. I had been cooking, for some reason, I don't even remember why, some spicy pizzas for a few of my friends, and we invited Ben over for it.
It was quite interesting.
And it it pretty quickly morphed to us doing like a home-cooked meal every week. It wasn't pizza anymore, but...
we started doing a spicy spaghetti sauce meal, and we would have 20 to 30 people over every single week for years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And we'd try to kill our friends with spice, and then we'd usually, drink, be merry, so on and so forth. It was fun. Uh-huh. But then after like 7 years, it went from 20, 30 people to probably like 7. And we started to slowly realize this was a lot of work, like for 7 people. And between him and I, we had like 100, 200 habanero plants that we grew.
Yeah, we decided we wanted to move away from like the different hot sauces that we were finding because they didn't really taste all that good, and we wanted to use fresh peppers. So we were growing a lot of habaneros, and that's like the perfect spicy pepper. But the party started to die down. We realized we didn't want those going to waste, so we did a habanero preserve.
Yeah, and pretty much we were like, because we didn't like hot sauce back then, because most of it back then was either extracts or vinegar and water.
Yeah,
so it was a fruit, vegetable-based hot sauce, and both of us were like, this is better than anything we've had out there. It was what's now known as the sultry sauce was our first sauce, because we have like 40 plus now. And we made that, and we were like, we should try to market it.
Yeah, we went a little crazy with that thought, but
And we were young and stupid, made plenty of mistakes, but slowly over time we built We started bringing out the barbecues. That helped a lot. The garlic sauces helped even more. And then, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, we finally got on the show. Well, finally, and it was only in season 3, but we got on Hot Ones on YouTube, which that same season started really, it went from like a few 100,000 viewers to a few million, and it just kept growing. So that helped us out a lot over time.
Ah, I didn't know you were on that show. Wow.
Yeah, 7 seasons with 6 products.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So, but what did you do to I mean, who came up with this idea? Was it just that you're in the kitchen, you're playing around, you're having fun, you're having a few drinks or whatever, and you decide to start making sauces? I mean, like, what was the impetus for that?
I mean, it was the parties to originally, because like I said, we would make usually homemade pasta sauce with pasta and what we used to call crack bread. It was bread that was really crunchy on the outside and really buttery on the inside, and we'd go through like 7 loaves.
It was insane.
But then the preserve Ben came up with, because like I said, we had like 100 or 200 plants, and that's like 100, 200 pounds of habaneros. And if we stopped having the parties, we weren't going to be eating 200 pounds of habaneros in a summer.
No,
you know?
they would have gone to waste. That would have made us very sad.
And then we slowly expanded the line past that, basically. Originally, it was all hot sauces, and then, we slowly, through customer requests at festivals and stuff, started adding certain things. The horseradish sauce wouldn't exist without customers asking for it every show, pretty much.
It was probably the same customer asking us every show for a couple of years.
There'd always be 1 or 2 people at the booth that would go, "Do you have a horseradish sauce?" And when we'd say no, they'd just walk away. So it took years, because I was never a horseradish fan. Okay. I am now, but eventually I'm just like, you know what? Fine, I will try to make a horseradish sauce. And I made one that I liked, pretty much. And everyone seems to, too. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've purchased some of your sauces.
Thank you.
And used them and love them. But it's not just about the heat, is it?
No. It's always, we were always about flavor.
Yeah.
Because even with the super hots, we want to hurt ourselves, sure, but we want to enjoy our food.
Yeah, if it doesn't taste good, what's the point?
Yeah. What did you do for a living, each of you, while you were putting all this together in the kitchen?
I've worked a lot of retail in my life. So basically, I was, I think at that point, I was working at Boscov's.
Yeah, and I did photography and video production right before this, and it just kind of was like, no, I want to try this. I think that there's something here.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow. So this is now not only full time; it's your lives, right?
Oh yeah, it has been for quite some time.
Yeah. What year did you leave the secular world and devote yourselves entirely to Torchbearers?
It was a little up and down, I know, with Ben, because we had down years, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, I think probably about 10 years ago is when I finally became full-time for Torchbearer. But I would help out about 20, 30 hours a week on top of my normal job. So I kept myself very involved even when I couldn't be, technically.
And I've technically been full-time from the beginning. I mean, I'm sure I had odd jobs here and there, but in general, it seemed to need somebody that was at it the entire time to get it moving.
Did the two of you always get along in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yeah.
In the kitchen, definitely.
We butt heads everywhere else, though. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we seem to complement each other. Like, if he creates something, I'm usually able to tweak it so it's a little better, and vice versa.
Are your culinary tastes different?
Not really.
No?
No, I don't think so.
They're both very broad.
Yeah.
So, like...
We like to eat.
Yeah, so as long as it's really good, So I'm good. We're both good with any kind of cuisine, really. I can't think of anything we don't like.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so glad you did the horseradish, because that's one of my faves.
Yeah, it's Sean Evans' favorite, too, from Hot Ones.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's apparently what got us on, was the smoky horseradish sauce. Even though it wasn't what was on, he was like, I want something from Torchbearer, because it's like his favorite sauce, apparently.
Okay.
Like, it's not his favorite hot sauce, because it's not a hot sauce. It's got a kick, but, it's not a hot sauce.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of, and don't judge me, I'm a big fan of watching Shark Tank.
Oh, not judging you. I watched probably the first, I don't know how many seasons there are, at least 8 seasons.
They're in 15.
They're
in their 15th season now.
We were addicted to Shark Tank for quite a while.
Okay.
Well, we tried to get on for a while. We got very close. We got to the final round twice, but it's so much work. We just at that final time we were like, all right, I think I'm done for now. We might try again. We'll see. We've been talking about it this year.
So the reason I bring that up, guys, and if you're just joining us, we're talking to Vid Lynch and Ben Smith. They are the owners of Torchbearer Sauces. And your website, gentlemen, is?
Torchbearersauces.com.
Okay, easy enough to remember. In watching Shark Tank, I am always impressed, and I have to tell you, there are times that I have tears in my eyes, and I'm sometimes, I'm probably way too emotional, but I watch that show, and I sometimes get choked up based on the passion that the contestants, or whatever you call those folks who come in, have for what they're doing. And then it's really upsetting when they get turned away and all that, and I think, wow, what's going to happen to them, and but I'm sure they go off into the sunset and do their thing. How about you guys in terms of, can you describe what the passion you both have had for Torchbearer Sauces?
I guess. After 18 years, it gets to more comfortability than passion, but
Honestly, yeah, I feel very comfortable with the position that we're in, but I'm always humbled when I hear about how much people love our products and how they use our products. And it's also encouraging to hear when we're out at the festivals and whatnot, like some of our competitors come up and like, hey, we wouldn't have started our own business if it wasn't for you guys. So it's very heartfelt when I hear stuff like that.
yeah, after 18 years, it's almost more like a long marriage. You know what I mean? So I definitely love Torchbearer. I love our products. It's fun to put it together, but I don't have as much passion as I used to. I'm starting to get more again, though. I think I went through a lull here.
Okay. Can you walk me, either one of you, Vid or Ben, can you walk me through the creative process? Like, how is it that you're telling me you have 40 sauces? I had no idea it was that extensive.
Yeah, and we've got something like 60 in the background, too, that are released.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a strawberry rhubarb hot sauce that's amazing that we just got to find an excuse to bring it out.
Oh, man. I'm looking over through the glass at Steve Long, our producer, and I think both of us, we just had our eyebrows go up like, got to get me some of that.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to let us know when that's on the market. But back to the creative process. I'm fascinated by this.
Oh.
Like where, I mean, do you sit down at a table and start conversing about things, or do you wake up in the middle of the night with a notepad at your nightstand, and or how does it work?
It's a little of both, honestly.
Usually
what will happen is we'll just have a wild, crazy idea, like, oh man, I really wanted to do like a mango habanero hot sauce, which, I mean, that's standard for everyone. But I'm like, we got to do it the Torchbearer way. We got to actually make it really good. And so we have excellent suppliers for all the ingredients that we use. And like, all right, I'll just pull from them. I'll grab the ingredients that we want, and I'll come up with an idea for the recipe. Sometimes we use an older recipe that we just modify to create a new flavor and pop it out. And it's done usually within a batch or two. We're like, yep, this is perfect. This is Torchbearer quality. We're good to go.
You have a test kitchen? Do you in your facility?
We have a big kitchen that we use as a test kitchen, but no, we don't technically have a test kitchen. We just use tables and like a heating.
We have a good hot plate.
There you go.
Okay.
An induction cooker.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the small batches, and then we got a 40-gallon kettle for when we usually the initial batch will be in that, and we have a 300-gallon kettle for the bigger jobs, But yeah, Ben's absolutely right. It seems to be a little bit of both. Sometimes we might be like, the horseradish was very spur of the moment, the smoky horseradish. Same with the curry sauce for Ben. He literally was like, my mom likes curry. I want to make a curry. So he came up with the Psycho curry. Other times it's a bunch of customer requests or a singular customer request that really gets in our head. Or like Heatness, who we work with on a lot of the Hot One stuff and some of our side projects, like the Stranger Things sauces that just came out on Monday. We make them, we created them. Basically, it's going back and forth with them to get what they're looking for, kind of thing. Or sometimes it's we give them the idea, and it's still back and forth for a while.
You're listening to InSight, a program of very special interviews presented by Vision Resources Audio Services, and we're talking with Vid Lynch and Ben Smith, who are the owners of Torchbearer Sauces. Their website is torchbearersauces.com. You guys mentioned the term long marriage before, so that leads me to this question. Do you ever fight?
I mean, argue.
Yeah, we've definitely had our arguments. Usually
they're dumb.
Yeah, it's 100% always dumb.
Maybe 95, but still. We both kind of like to just argue over stupid stuff.
It gets out of our system. So when we have a real disagreement about something, it's a more calm.
I see. So the arguments are all good-natured?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they annoy the crew a little because we do argue over some stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it's usually like
is a hot dog a sandwich?
That would be one. That one lasted quite a while, by the way.
Yeah.
Quite a while.
That is the age-old question, isn't it?
I still say yes.
I still kind of say no.
Okay. and there's the long marriage. I got you. Okay.
I mean, we compromised, though, because I agreed to yes as long as there's at least 3 ingredients, but it also ended up making everything a sandwich.
Yeah, everything.
Like ravioli, it's a sandwich.
Oh, no.
That kind of stuff.
Oh, no, come on.
It's two bread-like substances around a bunch of ingredients.
Yeah.
I see.
And pizza's an open-faced sandwich.
I see.
So like I said, sometimes they're pretty dumb arguments.
I'm seeing in my mind Steve and I having a drink with you guys at a bar and having major arguments over these issues. And more philosophical
disagreements.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That's funny. Hey, tell me about your, and I hate to call them this, but who are your guinea pigs? Who do you use to try out your products? And
I mean, the crew to start, obviously, in general. Some of them won't go with the super hots, usually.
But they're wusses sometimes.
But most of them do.
Yeah.
And then family, and we often will bring them to shows festivals, to try out to the general public to get any other feedback we can think of.
Mm-hmm. Steve and I were just talking a couple of weeks ago. I saw on the internet that there is now a new world's hottest pepper. And I'm sure you're aware of that.
Well aware.
Yeah. So my question for you is it ever too hot?
It can be.
The peppers themselves, they can be too hot. But I mean, you can just use less of it if you want to get the flavor. That's so up to subject. Like that pepper, lots of people are not finding as hot as it's supposed to be, for example. But at the same time, like ghost chilies and scorpion peppers, some people find, even though scorpion peppers are much hotter than ghost chilies, there's a decent amount of people that for some reason the ghost peppers just kick their butts compared to scorpions. So I think it's a lot of people's different body chemistries coming into play.
I think it's somewhat subjective too.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
So taking that and relating it to Torchbearer Sauces, have you made sauces that just were, and no offense intended, but inedible?
Yes. Can
you tell us about some of those?
What was it called? Tropical. It was the fruit-based one that I put way too much Reaper pepper into.
Oh, that was the Gigafire.
Gigafire, yeah.
King of Fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be a tasty sauce if I tone it down a little bit, but yeah, it was just too much. I think it was too aggressive on the tongue.
I actually kind of like that one.
Yeah.
We haven't brought it out yet, but still.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there can be too hot or like it's a little too not acidic, stringent in your mouth, maybe.
Yeah, like
the Eye of the Scorpion was.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that was because of the powders in it, I think.
Yeah.
It varies. The real problem with us, it's not so much the flavor or the heat. It's when making it, especially in like a 300-gallon vat, it's kind of interesting to see which things are worse. Like super hot, sure, it's kind of bad. It can get bad with the fumes in the air, but then there's like super hot with horseradish, like our headless horseradish. The fumes of that are worse. But the funny thing is, I think our worst sauce to make
the Danny Wood
is the Danny Wood's
cilantro.
jalapeno cilantro, because apparently large amounts of cilantro in a kettle produce some sort of weird chemical that's very similar to
Mace.
mace.
It's
Yes.
aggressive.
Mace.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Your eyes start stinging and tearing up no
Yeah.
matter what you do, where you are in the room. It's not fun. So it's fun. It's kind of interesting to see the different ingredients and how, like, there's things that people don't think about that are far worse than hot peppers.
Well, one of the questions I was going to ask you toward the end was about the future of Torchbearer Sauces, but are you intimating that you're going into the self-protection business now after this, that you're going to be able to carry around Torchbearer Sauces into bad neighborhoods and things like that?
You
And
never know.
It'll be a side gig.
a side gig.
That'll be a secondary company.
I like that.
I did decide to make an extract using
This week.
Yeah,
This
this week.
week.
Yeah, just this week, because I was like, we have all this hot pepper powder. We have I'm like, if I just get some like high grain alcohol, we can extract the capsaicin out of that. We might have a usable product, and it's so far been fun. It's been interesting experimenting with it.
He was torturing people with it today.
I was.
Oh, that's.
And it's only 3 days old. It's supposed to age for at least 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I see.
It was
I see.
impressive. It was as bad as it was today.
Yeah,
Well-
these are people you don't like, right?
No, these are our guinea pigs. We love them all.
Well, the truth is, it was Ben and I and Katie.
Yes.
And that's it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
so far.
Who is Katie?
One of our workers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How many employees do you have right now?
In total, including my parents, there's 10.
Okay.
And then
Good.
we probably need to hire, we're going to have to hire a few this year.
Excellent.
We need a good strung back for one, because we're all getting olher.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
we certainly are. Yeah.
That's what happens after 18 years.
You're listening to InSight here on Vision Resources Audio Services. I'm Father Michael Scalzi, along with my producer Steve Long, and we're having fun with Vid Lynch and Ben Smith, the owners of Torchbearer Sauces. Vision Resources has a wonderful relationship with you guys. We do packaging, and what else do we do for you?
We help build the boxes too. We have a lot. We've been getting more and more of these
Advent calendars.
multi-pack boxes that we get out to stores, especially with the mini bottle versions of our sauces, and it's a lot to keep up with. So they do help us out a lot with that, for sure.
Yeah, after this interview, I want to talk to you two heathens about the true meaning of an advent calendar, but we'll save that for
It wasn't
for
our
off
idea.
air. What's that?
It wasn't our idea, that one. believe
No,
me.
I think it's hysterical. I really do. I think it's really cute. That's great.
Oh yeah, it's cute. It's a pain to build, but it's cute.
Yeah, your packaging is really outstanding, by the way. For
Thank you.
anybody who hasn't seen Torchbearer Sauces in the stores, I mean, look for it, and you'll enjoy, even if you're not going to buy it, but I hope you do, picking up the packaging and just taking a look at it. It's really fun, and I look at it, and it's really unique. It's unique packaging.
Thank you. Yeah,
Do
we
you design
it?
You design all that yourselves?
My friend for the labels, my friend Rich Hauk does pretty much all the. He's a web designer, but he does pretty much all the labels, and then the boxes he often helps with. But we actually there's a hood container.
Yeah, hood container.
Hood container designs. They do a good job with it too, because usually it's like, hey, we need this box that holds 8 bottles, and we just give them a quick overview, and the next day they're like, how's this look? And they have this amazing box made up, and we're like,
perfect.
Awesome.
Nice.
How do you have it so quick?
Nice. Without going into specific detail about where you can purchase them and things like that, but are you have a good market share right now?
Decent. We're trying to grow it more and more, but we have a lot of big stores that are carrying it right now, and then like I said, we do a lot through our partner with that deals with Hot Ones, and they're excellent for us.
We also, I think one of our newest customers that we've been working with said that we are in their top 3 of the sauces in the category.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and for the Christmas gift, stocking stuffer event they had, we were number 1 and 3 for the company.
Mm-hmm.
They've got like 6,000 stores, and we're barely in most of them yet, so that's kind of impressive.
Excellent.
Because we just started with them.
So we just have a couple of minutes left, unfortunately, but cool. I hope to have you guys back again sometime. This has been fun, but without revealing any trade secrets or anything like that, what's the future hold? What are you looking at?
Pretty much more of the same, I think. We just keep expanding, and we're doing a lot more collaborations, I think, in the future.
Yeah, that's going to be big for us.
Yeah, because we have one. I can't say the name yet,
sure.
But still is a big band we're probably going to start making some hot sauce for that found us, and then their representation, I'm sure if that goes well, wants us to do an even bigger band from them, actually. So
wow,
it's slowly, like, the word of mouth and stuff seems to be slowly building around the country with things like that, which will help a lot on the bottom line, and keeping our cash flow up for our workers.
Yeah. Well, of course. Well, I have to tell you, I'm a big fan. Steve's a big fan. I think your stuff is unique. I have your sauces out, excuse me, on my counter at home because I love the bottles. I mean, they just look cool. But more importantly, the sauces are they're amazing, and they're so. They're just unique. What's your top seller?
The Garlic Reaper would be our top seller.
Yeah. Garlic Reaper?
Yeah, That one was on one of the seasons of Hot Ones, and Gordon Ramsay complained about it for like 2 minutes, which was fine by me because he talked about our sauce for 2 minutes.
And
sure.
Jack picked up the bottle and was like, this is the one I'm scared of.
It was like he did a product shot. We have no idea why Shaq did that.
Yeah.
But
I have to tell you, using your products, they're not frightening. They're flavorful. They're wonderful, and they're just so fun to cook with and put on wings and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's great stuff, and I'm sure with the holidays coming up, great stocking stuffers. I think one of you might have said that before. Great stocking stuffers and great gift packages and all that. And it's just like I have a feeling when somebody would open that up, they'd say, "Oh wow, this is different." It's not the same old, gift card or tie or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not the same old hot sauce either because you know what people usually give. They give the ones where they're like, "Oh, there's flames coming out of his butt."
Yeah,
on the label. It's like,
yeah, that's not funny.
No,
we get enough of that with Steve around here. So yeah. Vid Lynch, Ben Smith, it has been a delight to talk to the both of you.
Thank you.
The owners of Torchbearer Sauces. Torchbearersauces.com is the website. Check it out. I promise you're going to love every minute of every product. This is Father Michael Scalzi, InSight Interviews here at Vision Resources of Central Pennsylvania.